Now at 6 on Time Warner Cable News on ABC 45, a new state study on the safety of zip lines is out today after the death of a 12-year-old who died on a zip line at Camp Cheerio. The search is on for the suspects who shot up 8 school buses, what Guilford County sheriffs are saying. And 2 Triad school districts want millions to complete significant improvement projects. What the plan is to get that funding approved.
You're watching Time Warner Cable News on ABC 45.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sharon Stone. Those stories are coming up first at 6. Meteorologist Monty Montello has your weather on the ones forecast. So we need to get ready for some cooler weather, Monty. Cool. All right, see you then. Thank you, Monty. Several school buses were found shot full of bullet holes this morning at Southern Guilford High School. Elise Michelanis talks to investigators who say you can help them solve this crime. Again, investigators and GCS officials say they believe this was a random, isolated incident. They feel it is safe for students to attend school. If you have any information about the crime, you can call the Guilford County Sheriff's Office. Jurors got a first look at gruesome crime scene photos in a 2013 murder case. Travion Smith was in a Raleigh courtroom today, charged with first-degree murder in the death of Melissa Huggins-Jones. Investigators say she was found beaten and stabbed in her bedroom. Detectives describe what they found when entering the victim's apartment.
Teeth that were there appeared to not be in the proper place. There was puncture wounds about her head and neck.
Smith is convicted of first-degree murder. He could face the death penalty. Co-defendant Ronald Anthony Jr. has already pled guilty in the case. These 2 people are charged in connection with a number of church break-ins. A Rockingham County Bobby Pernew II and Julie Saxton both are facing felony breaking and entering charges as well as larceny. Deputies say the 2 took money, electronics, and silverware from the Palestine United Methodist Church in Stokesdale. Pernew is charged in connection to another break-in that day at the Gideon Grove United Methodist Church. 2 big court cases continue in Davidson County. Marsha Williams and Marissa Studevant, former Davidson County Animal Shelter employees, were no-shows for criminal superior court today. Both women face animal cruelty charges. Williams was the director of both the Guilford County and Davidson County animal shelters before accusations of animal cruelty surfaced. The women were excused. No new court date has been set. Molly Corbett and her father, Thomas Michael Martins, were also expected in court. Their hearing was rescheduled. They're both charged with voluntary manslaughter and the second-degree murder of Jason Corbett. Molly's husband was an Irish native found dead in the couple's home last August. Both are out of jail on bail. The district attorney says Corbett and Martins are due in court Wednesday for an administrative hearing. The State Department of Labor finished a study into zipline safety after a Wilmington girl was killed last year. 12-year-old Bonnie Sanders Burney died while ziplining at Camp Cheerio in Allegheny County. The state's 55-page study reports participation on a zip line or challenge course should be considered a sport rather than amusement and should not be regulated as such. They recommended zip lines remain excluded from inspection by the department. The state looked at more than 100 facilities that operate with zip lines or similar equipment. They found most incidents were caused by human error, not equipment failure. They do not think additional regulations would create a safer industry. Members of Wyden I-77 met with business owners and the public in Mooresville today. They talked about their opposition to the toll lanes along the interstate. Last month, the Charlotte Regional Transportation Planning Organization reaffirmed its commitment to this project. Today, opponents of the project explain why they think this plan is a bad idea that does not benefit drivers.
This issue is not as much about the facts, it's about politics. When we go to Raleigh, when I was in Raleigh last week, they understand it's a bad deal. But this has turned beyond, does this make sense? We've won that battle. It doesn't make sense.
Construction on the lanes is already underway. 2 Triad school districts want to complete significant improvement projects that will cost millions. Amara Mokwe shows us how they plan to make that happen. If GCS's funding request is approved, construction on the 3 projects will likely start around June. A special guest was teacher for the day in Onslow County. North Carolina House Representative Philip Shepard took over 2 senior classes at Southwest High School today. He taught lessons in civics and U.S. history. The lawmaker had students talk about topics like international trade, promoting democracy, and foreign policy. Topics Shepard says students will need to know as they get older.
it will affect every aspect of their lives in the days to come. They're just getting out. Some of them are going to be in the workforce, so it will have an impact on them as far as their wages, their taxes, and their taxable income.
Other representatives have been invited to teach for a day at an Onslow County school in the future. Still to come here at 6, the presidential candidates may be in New Hampshire for tomorrow's primary, but money from North Carolinians could have gotten them there. Campaign financing from the Tar Heel State after the break. The clock is ticking for presidential candidates in New Hampshire ahead of that primary tomorrow. Jeff Bennett has the latest from the Granite State as voters prepare to head to the polls. More than 20% of Americans are giving up their U.S. passports. This is according to a CNN Money Analysis report. Nearly 4,200 people turned them in last year alone. Americans living overseas are the majority of individuals doing so because of complicated paperwork and new tax regulations. The U.S. taxes its citizens no matter what country they live in. Leaders met in Raleigh for the annual Emerging Issues Forum today. The discussion centered around the rapid increase in technology and how it's changing the workforce. Experts say in the next generation there could be fewer jobs available due to automation, and that leaders should be planning for that change.
So technology is not just about putting a fender, the right front fender on a car as it comes down the assembly line. Technology is now being able to actually make cognitive decisions because we have all this data. People can write programs to analyze the data, and that means technology is going to be able to do more and more things.
Experts say that education, business, and political leaders will all need to work to find solutions for the potential of the new workplace. Stay with us. Your sports is up next, along with your Carolina Minute here at 6 o'clock. Thank you, Monty. Well, stocks plunged early today, but rallied to soften the blow. Let's get the latest on the economy now from our team on Wall Street. Be sure to join us for the late edition of Time Warner Cable News on ABC 45. The Panthers are back home in the Carolinas after a heartbreaking loss at Super Bowl 50. Fans are looking to show their team a little love for their unforgettable season that took them all the way to California. That's our time here at 6. World News Tonight with David Muir is up next. Hope to see you back here at 11 on ABC 45. You can find us anytime on Time Warner Cable News. Have a great night.